Hey, this is Paulo from the MV Academy, and in today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at the main bass from the track Stock Sounds by SpectraSoul. So this is the original drop. And this is the bass sound we're gonna be recreating. Now I know it's not exactly the same, but I think this sound contains enough techniques that you can approach similar sound design and create your own original tracks with this. But as usual, before you get started, if you're new here, make sure you get subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell to not miss any of our future videos. And if you're already subscribed, please share this with a producer friend who you think would appreciate having this resource, because this helps us grow the channel more and continue bringing you these videos. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so here I have an initially spiral. And this sound contains a lot of movements, but for now we're just gonna stick with one note, a low E. So the first thing we're going to do is to load basic shapes on every oscillator. The reason why is because we're gonna be doing a lot of layering on this patch. Let's also load some white noise. You should be getting that mess right there. Let's bring the level of each oscillator down, except of A, and then let's change it into a saw wave. Just like that, and let's filter this, something like this. And now we're gonna be using these two sine waves as extra harmonics for the bass. So if we remove oscillator 1 and we boost the level of oscillator 2, we can pitch it 19 semitones up, which will be 1 octave and 7 semitones up, and layer that in with this saw wave. Do the same with oscillator 3, but instead of 19, let's do 28. Huh. That's some tricky layering right there. And then we can use different LFOs to modulate the levels of these oscillators. For example, we can bring LFO, I don't know, let's say number 4 into a level of oscillator 2, set it to 1 bar, and then have this at the first half of the sound, like that. And then let's have, for example, oscillator 5 into a level of oscillator 3, and let's just have this at the second half of the sound. So the moment this one fades out, this one fades in. Something like this. Let's set it on 1 bar. So as you can see, you can have this really cool dynamic of exchanging the harmonics. Vroom, vroom. Very nice. Let's also map an LFO into the level of the noise. Let's set it to 1 bar once again. And then let's have this one to start fading in like this. And then go all the way up here, because the sequence of the sound is something like that. And obviously we need to control the amount of modulation a bit lower. That's cool. And now let's also filter this noise with a bandpass. So let's move this fader a little bit to the right, and then let's route the noise through this. And then let's select a resonance spot for the noise. Cool. And now let's go into the effects tab, and here's where the magic is gonna happen. We're gonna load chorus, which is pretty cool effect. It makes all of the harmonics of the bass cancel each other kind of rhythmically, like a unison. And I know you're probably wondering, oh, what's happening with the phase of the sub and something like that. Well, don't worry, because in the post-processing, we're just gonna use a mid-side EQ and make the sub mono as it used to be. Cool. So now let's add distortion. Okay, nice. Then let's add an EQ. And let's create a big notch here. Then let's boost a little bit of the highs. And that's gonna be it for the effects. Now we can go back into the voice tab. And here, for example, we can boost the drive of oscillator 1. To change a little bit of the tonality of the sound. And then let's just experiment with this pitch bend range. Let's set it on 24. Cool, so as we can see, there's a lot of different movements that we still have to do with the sound. So we have the main texture of it, but we need to create much more movement on this one. Let's start by setting an envelope on the global master tuning of this. So envelope 2, global voice transpose. Sorry about that. And then let's bring this down. And let's create a transient. Awesome. Then let's set these voices to 1 and increase the glide. So the moment we play a higher note, we get that. Let's bring this pitch bend range to 12. And now let's jump into some movements in the piano roll. Okay, so what I did here is I put the E and then I put A sharp and B, so it transposes all the way up with the glide. Nice. And then we can also go back into the patch, automate the pitch bend wheel, and then create a falling shape like this. Maybe also a falling shape here. That's nice. As you can see, you can get quite creative with this. Maybe another falling shape here. Or rising. It can be cool. Now let's add a trash too. And the reason why is because we want to add a little bit of an accent transition in between these two parts of the sound. Right here. So let's set this on multiband. And then let's add something like tape saturation. And then we can automate the drive like this. Just like that. Now let's set a cool band here. Something that doesn't contain a lot of sub. Maybe some more mids. Just like that. And then we can automate that drive to go up here. Oh, that's nice. This has a bit of a too high transient, so let's bring this a bit lower. And now we're going to be loading an autopan. And the reason why is because we want to use this autopan with the face all the way down to modulate the amplitude of this bass. Actually, that movement was sick. Let me recreate it. Oof. Should have recorded that. Okay, that's nice. And then we can automate this here to go higher. That's nice. In this case, we're not going to use that because we're trying to get similar results to the reference. But again, you should do this type of movements because this is what makes the bass something original. And we don't want to copy each other's tracks. We always want to make original tracks, but recreations are one of the best ways to learn how to make pro tracks. And speaking about learning how to make pro tracks, we're constantly working on our DnB Foundations program that is the perfect journey for a beginner to advanced producer. So either if you're a beginner looking to get really good at music production, an intermediate producer who wants to have a logical sequence to follow in order to become better, or an advanced producer looking to fill in the gaps, the DnB Foundations program is perfect for you because it contains over 300 videos, all ranging into topics of sound design, mixing, music theory, mindset, productivity. We also have start finishes. We have a lot of content there. So if you really want to level up your production, consider getting DMV Foundations. And also, not only you get an awesome program, but you support this channel. So if you're a fan of the YouTube and you want us to keep going, you can support the DMV Academy that way. So continuing with the video, these are really cool moves that we can do. There's also a lot of reverb. And let's just not do sub. But let's set this at 100%. There you go. And that is the washout effect that we're going to fade in certain parts of the sound. For example, here at the end. And also we can fade it in here. Or maybe we can let it bleed through this other sound, because in theory, these are like two different sounds. Something like that. That's nice. Let's add an EQ. For those of you who are really worried about mixing, let's just set it on mid-side mode. And let's remove every sub information from the sub. And so from here, in order to make this sound a bit more original, you can do anything. For example, you can even run a FM here. That's crazy enough. Let's bring this down, maybe. That's super cool. Okay, let's change the transposing of this one. There's a little bit of a jump up bass there, actually. So let's record this. There's a little spot here. Oh, look at that. We can extract basses out of basses. So you can take this one shot here. And for example, you can load a sampler, actually. So let's look for a sampler. Drag it there. And so now we have this cute jump up bass. Let's add a bit of attack into it. And bring sustain down. Cool. And then let's add some post-processing. Let's add a saturator. Then let's add a multiband dynamics. Then let's add some EQ. And let's just bring this sound to the front of the mix. So let's saturate this a little bit. Awesome. Now let's use the multiband dynamics to bring the highs up. This is a sick bass. Nice. We can also use a filter inside of the sampler. For example, we can use this filter envelope. Bring this down. Nice. Let's bring the resonance down. Slow down. And this is a pretty good bass. Now let's try to get different sections of the sample. Oh, that's nice. Let's set it on sustain mode. Oh, this is nice. We can also crossfade this and make it super tiny. As you can see, you have just a lot of possibilities with this. That's super nice. So yeah, that's maybe how you can make this sound original, not only inside the synth, but also outside the synth. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and share this with a producer friend to help us grow the channel even more and continue making these videos. And as you should know, if you want to get access to preset in the project files, you can become a member of Preset Pass. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.